Good morning, family. Let's pray. May the words of my mouth and meditation of our hearts be acceptable to you, O Lord, our rock and our Redeemer. Amen. This morning I would like to start my sermon by a story. This is the story of Corrie Ten Boom. Corrie Ten Boom was born in the year 1892 in the city of Haarlem in Netherlands. She worked with her father as a watchmaker. She was the youngest daughter of the family and she lived with her father, two sisters, and her brother in a house just above her father's watch shop. Life was going on normally with the Ten Boom family until May 1940, when Hitler and his men were on the run to kill the Jews in what we know today as the Holocaust. The Jews were tortured immensely, and the Ten Boom family, being saved in the Lord, could not bear to see the torture done to the Jews. So they took a stand and they said, "We are going to protect the Jews." So what they did was, they made their house into a secret refuge, and they used to allow Jews to come secretly and stay with them. Some Jews stayed with them for a few days, while others stayed with them for months. The watch shop was a perfect facade to do these activities. From the outside, it looked like a watch shop, but inside, their house was a haven for the Jews. Everything was going on smoothly and as per the plan. For 4 years, everything went off well. Until February 28, 1944, when a fellow Dutchman betrayed the family and told Hitler and his people of the Ten Boom family's activities. 35 people, along with the entire Ten Boom family, was arrested and put into concentration camps. Life for the Ten Boom family was never the same after that. Corrie's father, who was 84 years old, died just 10 days after being put into the concentration camp. Her sister Betsy was tortured, and after 10 months, she died in one of the concentration camps. Corrie was released 12 days after her sister's death. Despite her suffering and all the torture that her family went through, by God's grace, she was able to forgive those who destroyed her family. And she came out victorious. And not just that, after coming out of the concentration camp, she started a rehabilitation center for those affected by the Holocaust. When Corrie Ten Boom came out of the concentration camp, she went all around the world telling of the love of Jesus. Recently, I was listening to one of her recordings and she narrated one of her experiences in the concentration camp like so. This is what she said. "The source of our strength is Jesus Christ himself. His cross shows us that we can accept suffering as a part of God's plan for this world." When Corrie was in the concentration camp, one of the most terrible things they had to face was that they were stripped of all their clothes and they were made to stand. The first time that happened to her, she said to her sister, "Betsy, I cannot take this anymore." And then she said, "And suddenly, I saw Jesus at the cross." The Bible says, they took his garments, he hung there naked, and Corrie said, "I knew he hung there for me." In that suffering, I understood a fraction of the suffering that Jesus Christ went through. He suffered there for me, he hung there naked for me, and that made me so thankful I could bear my suffering. Love so amazing, so divine, demands my life, my soul, my all. When we hear stories like this, I cannot help but ask the question, how can people be so strong? How does your faith get into practice? And how did Corrie Ten Boom come out so joyful out of this entire situation? And what can I do to be like her? Why did she not crumble to the ground in doubt and curse God, but rather she glorified him through her life, even in the concentration camp? I think there are three things that we can consider to answer this question. how can we be like heroes of faith? How can we be like Corrie Ten Boom in the concentration camp? How can we be like Paul in the prison? How can we be peaceful like David when he was on the run from Saul? How can we be like these heroes of faith? Let me present to you 3 points this morning that will help us with this question. Firstly, heroes of faith have a real relationship with God. When Corrie was out there in the concentration camp and when she was having that experience, the first thing that came to her mind was Jesus hung on the cross. And the second thing that came in her mind was Jesus hung for me. You see, if Corrie did not have that sense of belonging, if she did not have that real relationship with Jesus Christ, she would not have been able to feel that fraction of her suffering that Jesus went through. If her relationship with Christ was fake, she would have crumbled right there. But when she remembered the Bible verse, she could connect to it because she took it personally. Jesus died for me. Do you know that Jesus came to die for you at the cross of Calvary? If you were the only person in the world for whom he should die, he would have done it, gladly bearing your and my sin. Romans 5 verses 6 to 8 says, you see, at just the right time when we were still powerless, Christ died for the ungodly. Very rarely will anyone die for a righteous person, though for a good person, someone might possibly dare to die. But God demonstrates his love for us in this. While we were still sinners, Christ died for